Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is your favorite Dark Sorcerer here, Angelus, son of Abaddon. And tonight I want to discuss with you seals and wardings. Simple tools that a sorcerer and sorceress, mage, sage, wizard, necromancer, blood sorcerer, or sorceress can use and employ in your own independent magics. So let's take a quick look at some of these seals and these wardings. You have seals of cloaking. Seals of cloaking are deployed to cover your own ass. These things are used so that your actions and your movements are hidden from your enemy, from those who would hinder what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish. Seals of reversal, for an example, reverse all negative influences. Those of you who have ever been in a witch war or in some form of, how should I say this, some form of conflict know exactly what I'm talking about when you have negative influences coming at you. Like, say, for example, somebody's trying to destroy your reputation, or perhaps somebody's attacking you mystically or magically. Okay? Let's say somebody's trying to create your downfall, okay, through your career. All right? How do you destroy them? How do you stop them? Well, reversal magics, seals of reversal, really do play a huge factor here. Because number one, whatever they dish out is reversed and sent right back to them. These are very, very potent seals, these two. But you also have to take into considering a cleansing to keep you pure. A seal of adjuration, for an example. This particular seal is something that will eliminate all forms of negativity attached to you. Much like the seal of anguish, for an example, which really wards off and, let's just say, takes hold of an enemy and just kind of, whoop, I'm taking you over here. I'm diverting your attention. Okay? Seal of anguish really does this stuff. And I found this very interesting on my own studies and my own practices, but also since I've employed them. Now, what's also interesting is the types of traps that you can do. These types of wardings that will protect you from certain influences. Let's say, for an example, you got somebody attacking you. Number one, if you have the seal of cloaking, the seal of abjuration, the seal of anguish, and the seal of reversal, whatever they do is not going to touch you. They're not going to touch you at all. But here's the thing. Why don't you do something surprising? Create a trap. You look at nature for an example. The type of spiders that I call hunter spiders, they have a pit that they hide in, and they have this cover over it. So when an unexpected prey goes to walk by, they pop out and grab it and drag it into the pit. Think of a trap the same way. You're not just diverting your enemy through one of these seals, but now you've set a trap for them. What do you utilize for a trap? You could have baneful magic waiting for them. You can have a lot of different things, from curses, hexes, maybe ills that can befall your enemy. But you have to be able to charge them and place them in the right sequence. I had a sister. I have a sister who is going through a time of trials and turmoil right now. And she has been for quite some time. When she deployed these seals, with less than an hour, she had security. She had lawyers. She had doctors in her face threatening her. And just as fast as they appeared, they disappeared. Finding the right sequence for your home, your apartment, your ritual chamber. Perhaps if you're utilizing necromancy and you're taking over a graveyard, you want to make that graveyard yours. You petition the spirits, you set out the seals, you place them on the four corners or the four watchtowers. You place that your personal seal right there, dead center, as your mark that you are to be known by. If you go for the Grave Lord position, you petition the spirits for that title. You perform the rites and the rituals that is needed for that tower, for that title, that honor, to work for the spirits. But knowing your enemy and how to defeat them plays a huge part in this. For an example, back in January, when I publicly announced that I was going to be following the Mazajira Cabal system faithfully and fully as a committed adept, somebody that I've been acquainted with for some time decided, okay, this is where we part ways. This is where we separate. I said, it's your choice, and left it at that. Next day, he messages me on Messenger. And after that point, he just started attacking me publicly. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever he could use to try to defame me. But when I put these seals up, he faded into the background. Every so often, I get somebody that comes to me and says, hey, this is what I came across. It doesn't bother me one bit. Why? Because it's not afflicting me. It's not touching me. It's not hindering me because of these seals, these wardings, the wardings of protection, reversal, all the bad luck and the negativity that this individual was putting out ended up going right back at him. Why? Number one, I utilized reversal magic, seals of reversal. My actions, my own activity is cloaked through the seal of cloaking. Number three, seal of anguish. Okay? And what's even more humorous about all this is that I employed a trap. Okay? And it was a trap of photos. So every time he tried talking bad about me and these individuals came to me, hey, Shelly, 333, and Blood of Bats, welcome to the channel. So every time this individual tried attacking me, these individuals that he talked to came to me. And guess what? That trap was revealed. His own words defeated him every single time. Did I have to lift a finger? No. He constantly says I'm attacking him. I haven't said one bad thing about him. I haven't said one thing. I haven't gone after him in any way. I just continue doing what I do, which is to teach and to guide. Delusions of grandeur clearly goes along with certain addictions, but that's another topic. So you see, having seals, having wardings play a huge part in magic. Those of you, like I said, who have been in a witch war or are going through a witch war, knowing your enemy and how they operate plays a huge part in how you can put up a successful offense. Okay? For an example, we all know that taking a sea salt bath cleanses your aura. It resets that button, that easy button effect. Okay? But what if I told you, what about the seal of adjuration? Number one, it cancels out any negative influence in your life. I know this personally because of the fact that all the opposition that's been in my life is gone. I'm talking 100% gone. I'm living proof that this stuff works. Second of all, the seal of anguish is something that really deters your enemy's attention. They can send out sentinels. They can send out seekers, tricksters, whatever, even lies. And it's not going to touch you. It's just going to be canceled out. It's going to be reversed. And all your activity is going to be under the table. More so, like I said, you can also employ curses and hexes, baneful magics, if you wish. But it doesn't have to be curses or hexes. Like I said, this guy's own words have been defeating him, left and right. I haven't had to lift a finger. I haven't had to do anything but sit back and relax. Continue studying, continue reading, continuing my practices for 6 months. This is all I've done. What's ironic is that I've had people from the past suddenly appear and disappear in the same mannerism. It's like they see one person doing it. Oh, I want to be a part of this. But as soon as they come, they disappear just as quick because I have these seals and these wardings up. And it's not just seals and wardings, it's also amulets and talismans. I have stones and dark objects scattered throughout my home. These are things that you can employ in your own lives and in your own personal practices. Blood of bats. Hit me up on Messenger. We'll talk about it. Well, like I said, blood of bats, you really want to know what you're doing. You really want to have seals of reversals, cloakings, protection, and cancellations of certain energies. Okay? These are things that play a huge part, not just anathema, not just a circle of protection or circle of empowerment, as it used to be called, not just an altar. You see, in a spiritual war, not just, let's say, for example, you're looking at two wars here. Number one, you have the physical war, the war physically that you're fighting. Let's say, for example, you're trying to move up the food chain in your corporate ladder, but you have, say, a Christian in the background praying, trying to observe your attention and your strength, trying to undermine you. How do you deal with that person? Well, first of all, you don't attack them directly. Okay? Number one, they're praying in the spirit. That's how they've been trained. That's how they've been taught. Okay? So once you get your seals up in of cloaking, protection, adjuration, and anguish up on the walls, you get your dark talismans put out in the regions of your home that fit. When you put your talismans and amulets up on the walls and you charge them and you activate them, okay? You cleanse your apartment, you cleanse yourselves. This is where your journey really begins because of the fact that now you can go into the spirit, you can go into the astral plane, you can weaken your opponent in the astral plane. To destroy something in the physical, you must first weaken it in the spiritual. Astral projection, obtaining spiritual foot soldiers, demons, servants, servitors, for an example, are great to have because you can unleash them, you can call upon them, petition them, utilize them. Throwing curses in the spirit is a great way to weaken your enemy. Utilizing what you know and what you have at your disposal, the very tools that you have at your disposal will benefit you greatly. Knowing your system and your style of sorcery is another good thing. If you're into voodooism or necromancy, then you know working with the spirits of the dead, knowing that you can call upon spirits utilizing, say, bones, blood sorcery, or even spirits of destruction is a very good thing because these are tools, these are beings that you have at your disposal that you can utilize to do things that you cannot do while you remain in the physical. To quote E.A. Coetti, okay, in his Book of Darkness, a sorcerer lives in two worlds. On one hand, he's a man, or a woman for that matter, a sorceress, who has a day job, provides for his family or her family. On the other hand, you're a sorcerer or sorceress. Keeping the two separate is like having a cloak, the cloak of knowing that you're also a weapon. Going into that spiritual realm, that inner sanctum, allows you to call upon forces, to utilize baneful magic. Seeking advice from the spiritual realm on how to handle this. For an example, utilizing cartomancy. Utilize it multiple times. Look for commonalities. Ask it numerous questions resulting in the same manner. Okay, let's say, for example, you want to find out how to deal with a constant attacking individual. Lay down the cards several times. Ask the question in different sequences, different methods. See what common cards keep popping up, and then study those cards. Why are they continuing to pop up? What specific meaning do they carry? And how can you apply these cards to what you're going through? Okay? Then you use the traps. Then you use the baneful magics, sorcery, curses, hexes, perhaps even blindness or muteness. Whatever you have to do to hide those in a trap. You cleanse everything. You put up those seals and you sit back and you do nothing. And the next time they attack, guess what? That becomes unlocked and it latches itself onto your enemy. The spirits, if you've called on, say, for an example, let's go with Abaddon. Let's go with Ariok, Sabnuk, or perhaps more ancient, let's go with Pazuzu. Try Volak, maybe Balaam, even. Moloch. These beings can attack 24/7 and they have legions underneath them. They can attack your enemy, your opponent, 24/7. While you sit back in a secure location, you pray, you worship, you petition, you perform rites, knowing that the hours and the planetary statures that are best suited for these type of actions. Necromancers know the best time is when your enemy is sleeping. Perhaps the hours of meridian, the devil's hour, 3 a.m. Meridian is between midnight and 3 a.m. Perhaps even the devil's hour, 1 to 5 a.m. The witch's hour, 11 to 1. Perhaps even dusk or dawn, when your enemy is at the weakest because they've worked all day or they've just gotten up and they're not aware or awake. Great time to deploy defensive and offensive magics. But seals and wardings are the best thing to have. They last long, and when they start fading, you can strengthen them, perform the same rites again, and restore them. Maybe change it up a little bit. Different types of traps, different types of curses, different types of offensive and defensive magics. But still, they're there. Blessed water? Are you talking about war water? Lolan? War water is a good thing as well, especially in hoodooism. Voodoo, Santa Morte, Quimbanda, Umbanda. Even in black magic, war water is utilized. So I want to thank everybody for participating. I hope you've learned a lot, and I hope it's been educational. Look it up. Till next time, have a good night.